the girl with the pretty red hood? And do you know who snores so loudly there? No? Well, then pay close attention. Once upon a time there was a little girl whom everyone loved, but it was her grandmother who loved her most of all. One day the grandmother gave the girl a small hood made of red velvet. She liked it so much she wanted to wear it all the time, and this is how she came to be called Little Red Riding Hood. One day the grandmother took ill, so Little Red Riding Hood's mother said, "Take some cake and wine to your grandmother, then she will be sure to recover quickly. But mind you do not leave the path and get lost in the woods." So Little Red Riding Hood took the basket and set off. Along the way she encountered a wolf. The wolf said, "Good day, Little Red Riding Hood. Where are you going?" And Little Red Riding Hood answered, "To see my sick grandmother who lives near the 3 great oaks. I'm bringing her cake and wine." The wolf was evil and thought to himself, "This girl would be a tasty morsel, but if I handle this cleverly, I can snatch the girl and the grandmother." So he said, "Just look at the beautiful flowers all around you. Why don't you pick some to take to your grandmother?" Little Red Riding Hood thought that was a good idea and left the path to pick flowers. And so she ventured deeper and deeper into the woods. The wolf, meanwhile, ran to the grandmother's house and stepped inside. He went straight to the sick grandmother's bed and devoured her. Then he put on her clothes and her bonnet, drew the curtains, and lay down in the bed. After a little while, Little Red Riding Hood arrived at her grandmother's house with her basket and a large bouquet of flowers. The door was open, so she went inside and called out a greeting. But no one responded, so she opened the curtains. Then she saw the grandmother, who had her bonnet pulled down over her face and looking very strange. Little Red Riding Hood asked her, "Grandmother, what big ears you have." "The better to hear you with." "Grandmother, what big eyes you have." "The better to see you with." "Grandmother, what big hands you have." "The better to hold you with." "But Grandmother, what a horribly big mouth you have." "The better to eat you with." Then the wolf leapt out of bed and swallowed poor Little Red Riding Hood. And after the wolf had devoured the grandmother and Little Red Riding Hood, he was so stuffed and so tired that he lay back down in bed and fell asleep, snoring loudly. At that moment a huntsman passed by the house. He wondered at the old woman's loud snoring and went inside to see whether she was well. Right away he recognized the big bad wolf in bed. He was about to shoot him when he noticed the wolf's big belly. It then occurred to him that the wolf might have eaten the grandmother and that she might still be rescued. So the huntsman did not shoot, but took a pair of scissors and cut open the stomach of the sleeping wolf. And Little Red Riding Hood sprang out, and after a few more cuts, the grandmother too emerged from the wolf's stomach. Both were doing all right. Little Red Riding Hood quickly fetched a few large stones to fill up the wolf's stomach, and they sewed him back up. And when the wolf awoke and tried to run away, the stones were so heavy that he dropped dead. The huntsman, the grandmother, and Little Red Riding Hood rejoiced. The grandmother ate the cake and drank the wine that Little Red Riding Hood had brought her and got well again. But Little Red Riding Hood thought to herself, "I shall never again leave the path and run into the woods when Mother has forbidden me to do so." Now you know the story of Little Red Riding Hood. But have you also discovered our little elf?
Hey there! Did you like the tale? Then make sure to subscribe to our channel to see the newest videos. Over here! Do you want to see more videos right away? Then click here.